Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to your June reading for love and relationships. This is a collective reading for all Scorpios with Sun, Moon, or Venus in Scorpio, or rising ascendant is Scorpio. If you're not sure of your planetary placements, you can search the internet for a free natal chart, input your information, and they'll produce one for you. The cards have been pre-shuffled, and I've cleared your space. We're going to be using the Art Deco deck today and Crystal Spirits Oracle. I will go ahead and give you a quick shuffle cut before we begin reading. I'll describe the spread that we're going to use. It's 5 cards with clarification cards that I'll pull as needed. This card represents you. This card represents your person, your significant other. And then we have where you're coming from. We have where you are now. And we have where you're headed. You're coming, okay, this is interesting. You've had sort of a turbulent relationship or past relationship here. Okay, but let's go ahead and talk about this. We have the King of Swords representing you, and we have the King of Cups representing your person. This tells me that you, Scorpio, I would actually, it could be reversed because King of Cups often represents Scorpio, or perhaps you're a cross watcher and your other is the Scorpio and you are the King of Swords. So switch these if it fits better for your situation. Whichever connects with you and with your other. But this particular person in the relationship is intellectual. They tend to deal with personal relationships and their emotions in a more detached way. They're more analytical. They're thinkers. They're very concerned about truth and their principles and character. So this would be one of you in the relationship, and the other, the King of Cups, is the master of emotions, control of emotions. Represents the elemental essence of the cups and water, which is love and creativity, emotions, and the subconscious. This person is more intuitive. This person relies less on intuitions and more on reasoning and communication. They believe very much in communication. Sometimes Scorpio can be so much guided by intuition that they feel like since they can pick up signals from others, that the others can equally pick up signals from them, which gets you into couldn't you tell that I was upset? Couldn't you tell I loved you, etc. So, but this person speaks the words, speaks the truth of it, and they need that communication. Okay, well, let's look at where you're coming from the past. I'll elaborate on these as we need to when we understand more about your story for this month. It looks like some of you came from a place of turbulence and upheaval or a breakthrough. Maybe in a past, this is the Tower card, and maybe in a past relationship, you were forced to see the truth in a way that you had not expected. So it could have been a third-person situation. It could have just been that the realization, the purging, the illumination that occurred during the full moon eclipse in May helped you to see a truth that about a previous relationship, or maybe about this one, that you had not seen before, which either required leaving the situation or working on the current relationship. But it's been turbulent in the past. There's been full moons reveal truth. And we also just had a full moon in the last couple of days. And that full moon was in your second house of values and priorities and your self-worth. And it required some reflection on your part. I think all of this deep reflection and seeing some things you hadn't seen before are changing you as a person, Scorpio. You're going through some changes, and it's, of course, that's going to reflect how you relate to others. You may not seem like yourself to them because you are changing. It's not comfortable for them. And your other person may really need to communicate about that. You need to communicate. Don't think that just because you are naturally introspective that your person is. Don't think that just because you can pick up intuitive knowledge about them and what they're going through, that they can do that with you. So do communicate with your person. Let me see a little bit more about this Tower situation. I'm wondering if it was related to mysteries and hidden things that were illuminated and revealed, or if it was something that you were put through that forced a change, a break. Maybe it could be positive, it could be a breakthrough, or it could have been just a crumbling apart. Let's get a clarification card here. Okay. Or it could have been something that you were just fed up, sick and tired of doing. It was too much of a burden. Things had to change. Okay, that seems to be what it is then. Something about your relationship. The Ten of Swords is about having carried burdens, and you've picked up burdens along the way. So either responsibilities or obligations in this relationship that we're talking about, whether this one in the past or another past relationship, you had picked up so many obligations and responsibilities along the way for working on that relationship. It got so tiring. You didn't think you could do it, but it was almost over. And this caused a breakthrough. I'm feeling like this is in this relationship. During these 2 full moons, that eclipse last month and then the one that happened a couple of days ago, you've realized it's put a light. You're seeing yourself through other eyes, Scorpio, and seeing what responsibilities, what work you've done on this relationship. And you're tired of doing it. You feel like you've reached the completion of that cycle, whatever cycle you are, whatever stage your relationship is in, you're ready for a new one to begin. And you had the strength to go this far. And let's see what the current situation is now. Yes, I forgot. You had the Four of Swords. I want you to look at all the implications here. First of all, we have 3 swords pointing in the traditional deck. They're pointing towards the upper 3 chakras, the upper 3 energy centers, which are very, they're aligning you with higher spirit, your higher self. So yes, you did get some insight. You looked at the situation, Scorpio. You looked at the situation, and if you're connecting with the King of Swords here, then you started looking at it through objective eyes as an outsider. And you were saying, okay, I do this and this and this and this, and I've tried to bring this relationship forward this way, this way, this way, this way. And let's look at what my other person is doing. How are they working? And this rest and repose here is a time, it was needed because of what you had been through. So this was needed. Let me put this Tower back here. This was necessary because of this breakthrough that you went through. That's exhausting. Being pushed out of a comfort zone, the way the relationship works day to day to day, being pushed out of a comfort zone is exhausting because it means you're trying to relate in a new way, trying to communicate in a different way. Let's see what else. You're currently, your other, both of you, you're in a state of detachment. Not total detachment, but you're backing off, giving each other space. And perhaps you have already communicated with the last eclipse. Last month, you might have already communicated, or they communicated with you about the need for growth toward a new aspect of this relationship. It's ready for the next stage. So currently, you are separating somewhat to give each other space so that you can develop these new ways of interacting with each other. Let me see if anything has come of that yet. Oh, yes. Okay. This is, yes. Because the both of you want this relationship to work. You really do. I mean, this is the true love card, the Two of Cups. Yes. So both of you are willing. It doesn't seem that one of you is begging and trying to make a deal and trying to negotiate, and the other one is just holding fast to what they've been doing and think everything is just fine. What are you worried about? Why are you so upset? No, you're both, they may not seem like it. If this card represents your other, the King of Swords may not seem like they're as invested in the relationship as you are, because they are more intellectual in terms of the way they approach relationships. They intellectualize them. They're in their head about them. Whereas you're all passion and emotion and love, and you're much more transparent. So it may not seem like they want to work as hard as you do, but yes, they do. They very much. This is a committed relationship. That's the stage that y'all are in now. You're leveling up. You're going to move to a new stage of commitment. And you're both going to learn from the cycle that you've just been through. You're going to learn a little bit about self-care. I mean, self-care is important in any relationship. You can't be there for them if you haven't been there for yourself. But just remember that it's going to take flexibility, Scorpio. You're going to have to see how your person feels. And this could be any air sign. And if this is your other, it could be any water sign. I'm not getting the feeling, we don't have any pentacles here. I'm not getting the feeling that we're talking about any earth signs. We're talking air and water right here. But you both have to be willing to have realistic expectations. So you may have been picking up burdens that your person didn't even see as burdens. You were working on things that this person didn't even feel that weren't important to them. Maybe you're not understanding their love language. With air signs, communication is very important. Whereas for you, you're much more interested in physical touch, well, acts of service as well, which is why you see this card. You've been maybe overperforming in the acts of service. And you need to pick the things that both of you agree are important on in this relationship. But I'm very optimistic. I'm very optimistic that y'all are going to go to the next stage, because it looks like this is where you're headed. Okay, we have the Knight of Cups here. Now, the Knight of Cups represents Scorpio, but it could be any other water sign as well. And the Knight of Cups is the slowest moving of the knights. The Knight of Cups, well, knights in general want to gather information. They want to learn, go out and find out what they can about a situation, and then bring it back to the king and queen so that the king and queen can better serve their kingdom and rule in a more enlightened way. So both of you, because you both are committed to this relationship, you're both willing to find out about the other what's important in a loving, caring relationship. Your person is ready to work on that as much as you are. Now, that doesn't mean they'll work on it in the same way. You'll have different approaches to it. This person's going to communicate more than you are. But don't expect them to read your mind. Let them know in your way. Be clear about what you're learning about them and how you want to help that make the relationship stronger and happier and more fulfilling. And that doesn't mean that then the work will be over, because relationships are a process. They're never, it's never like you reach the pinnacle and now you can coast. That's just not the way it works. The communication is important. Self-care is important. When you're disagreeing with each other, you've got to fight fair. And you have to show that you're supporting them. You have to make your support, your verbal affirmations, being there for them when something unexpected happens, gestures, acts of service. You have to communicate the fact that you are committed to this relationship in many, many ways. And keep your expectations of the other person realistic. It's not an overnight process. It's not an overnight process. I want to get some information on the Knight of Swords. What is his mission? Knights love missions. They want that to be clear. It looks like it's about love and relationships. Oh, interesting. Okay. You might have had a little bit of a competitive element to your relationship here. The Wands express energy and inspiration. And here, and I know that face looks awfully fierce. In the traditional deck, it's more youthful figures that are fighting, and it's more of in play. And it could be that this competitive spirit maybe was overdone a little bit in some of your, I don't want to say play conflicts, but, you know, when you tease and banter and get into what is considered fun competitions, maybe it went a little too far. And that's what you're going to learn. You're going to learn about each other, where the boundaries are, where the fun stops and negative feelings begin. Let's get some more on that. Oh, and cut again. Okay, you have the Page of Swords. That's this person. The Page of Swords becomes the King of Swords. Your person is going to approach this learning like a novice, with an open mind and an open heart. That's what pages are. They love to learn. They do have open minds and open hearts. They have the energy of a page and the right attitude. So your person has the right attitude toward this. And I'm not sure which of you felt the need, or maybe both of you did, to work on this aspect of your relationship, but they're willing to learn so that y'all can build more trust again, so that when you are being playful with each other, you know that you're both at play, and it's not some passive-aggressive behavior where someone's saying, oh, I was just joking, when really they were giving you a little dig. So your person is willing to work on that. Okay, look at this. Look at this. So you have the Two of Cups, true love, and with all of your work, and because both of you really are ready to work on this, and or keep working on it, if that's the case, and you both want to mature and be able to control your emotions and interpret things about the relationship well, and you're willing to communicate. Remember, communication is usually about 80% of any problem. Because y'all are willing to do that, and because you're willing, I'm thinking, you know, relationships are very much about fighting fair. Yeah, I think one of you got a little too passive aggressive. And during your teasing and bantering and your back and forth, you violated trust. You got a little dig or two in here and there. But with honest communication between the two of you and an attitude of learning, this is going to work out, because you've got the Ten of Cups. This is ultimate happiness. It's a relationship that can go forward if you both choose to do that. Ultimate happiness, the beginnings of real love, not just infatuation. It's not just the honeymoon period. It's not being in love. It's loving. So you are now ready to move into mutual work, a mutual work situation. I want to get one more clarification here on the King of Cups and one more on the King of Swords. Tell me more than what do we know about, wow, Okay, so this person, this King of Cups, which this one is Scorpio. This is you, Scorpio. Maybe I've got a lot of cross watchers in here today. And Scorpio is your person. And this is you. I don't know. But if you're Scorpio, this is you. And it looks like, Scorpio, that this relationship began when the Knight of Swords rode in. When he rode in, or she rode in, and swept you off your feet. And so it was very much about instant mutual attraction. Going forward on that instant attraction before you really got to know each other well, maybe moving too fast. The Knight of Swords is the fastest moving of all the knights. But it looks like now y'all are ready to slow down. The Knight of Cups moves carefully with caution because cups are so vulnerable, because they open up to others fairly quickly. Well, not Cancer, but because Scorpio does. Scorpio, if they think they're ready to love, they jump in both feet before they look at where they're jumping. This was you. You fell in love, in infatuation, in lust, very, very quickly. Now, this person, this is so interesting. They were coming out of a relationship. Oh, I better cover these people up before YouTube gets mad at me. This is the 20th card in the Major Arcana. There's only one more. The Fool is almost at the end of his journey. He's learned a lot of lessons. And it looks like this person had been through a relationship that taught him or her a lot. They learned, and they're learning from their mistakes. They're willing to learn. Where did that page go? Page. I lost him. I lost my page. Where did he go? We had a page that, oh, here, there he is. Yeah, Page of Swords. End of a cycle. Made some mistakes in a past relationship. Is now ready to learn. They realize now that they have found someone worthwhile, and it's going to take work. It's going to take work. And so they're open-minded. They've got the right attitude. They see this as a problem. Maybe some passive-aggressive behavior, fighting that was a little too edgy, not really play fights. Yeah, so this person's coming from a past relationship. And in this card, the Judgment card, Gabriel's blowing his horn, and the persons down here are waking from death and answering the call. It's about an awakening. This person had an awakening. You know what? I don't think it's not from a past relationships. It's from this. When you got to this point, Scorpio, when you got to this point and you let them see somehow that it couldn't go on like this, that was a wake-up call for them. And that's what's producing. You both backed off for a little bit. You detached from each other. So that was the Tower moment. It was the breakthrough. You moved away from each other, gave each other space, talked, communicated, and you've decided, both of you have decided, this is worth it. You really think this relationship has a future. Okay, let's pull a Crystal Spirits card and see what the overall energy is. I'll be reading out of the book for this one because, let me see, there. Do another cut. Because I have not learned all of these representations. Labradorite. I have a Labrador, so I like to say Labradorite. Maybe that's the way you say it. What card number is that? Number 29? Let's see what that has to say about the theme for this month as the two of you work on your relationship. Labradorite is a beautiful crystal. I love it. Okay, number 29. For relationship, well, let me read the essential meaning first. The essential meaning is awakening to the magic within, mystery, and synchronicity. Help from unexpected sources. Okay, synchronicity. You're going to notice some coincidences within and without your relationship, within and from the outside, that help you move it forward, that help you do this work. And you're going to it's going to be coming from unexpected sources. You're going to find out things that really help this relationship move forward. The specific relationship message is to open yourself to magic synchronicities so that you release your fears about love and open to it fully. Make yourself more vulnerable. Well, with trust, because you're working on it, your trust is going to grow. What does trust do? It opens you up, and you're more vulnerable, and you're seen as more lovable. A vulnerable person is a more lovable person. Someone who is all closed up and rigid about things, it's hard for someone to relate. And if they can't relate to you, then it makes a person difficult to love. So you need to look for the signs that you are loved. And remember, learn some about your other's love language. Find out more, Google love language and put in your other's sign and find out what means love to them. And even if that's not the way you normally express your love language, remember that's how they feel it. And you want them to feel your love. And then share with them what yours is. And maybe gifts don't mean much to you. Gifts are just material things that you don't think matter, whereas to them, they think they're giving you a gift to enhance your life, to make you enjoy life more. So y'all talk that out. During all of this work you're doing, talk out that kind of thing, and don't let it remain hidden. Let it come out. Be vulnerable with each other. See what works and what doesn't. Because you're working to co-create the loving partnership that you desire, according to the reading here. You're working with each other, and the universe is working with you to co-create the loving relationship you desire. And perhaps the relationship you're in has more potential than you think. And that, you're coming to realize that, Scorpio. Okay, very nice reading. I'm glad that you both are invested. I hope you connected with some of this. It gave you some insight, some enlightenment to help you in your relationship this month. And if you connected with it, if it fits your situation, please do give me a thumbs up, and you could consider subscribing if you like. And I'll be posting another reading this week. I'm not sure what it's going to be on yet. I'm pulled in a couple of different directions, but I'll be posting again. I really enjoyed this reading, Scorpio. Thank you so much for being here.